Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you might be. Welcome to ICUC, We See, Grazie, ICFB Star Entertainment. And today we've got a very special guest with us. We have Ashley Woods, and she's joining us from California. So welcome, Ashley Woods.
Thank you so much.
So our first question of the day is we're going to have a series of questions. We're going to want to try to get to know who Ashley is, what her passion was in music, and then we're going to talk a little bit about what actually entertains you. So we want to get to know you a bit more as a person, actually. So our first question of the day is, how did you get started in music?
That's such a good question. I sometimes have a hard time answering this because I grew up with two very musical parents. So it was kind of just always there. My dad and my mom both met doing music together in Africa, actually. So it just kind of was always around. My mom was a music teacher and my dad did music at the church that they were part of. So it was always around. I did musical theater in high school. I played the ukulele and guitar, but it wasn't until about 6 years ago that I started writing music for myself. And that was really where I found my niche and something I was passionate about. So yeah, it's been a long journey since I came out of the womb, I would say.
Oh, wow. Okay. So what would you say your greatest passion is about the music industry? Is it songwriting or performing or?
Oh, it's definitely not performing. No, I just get horrible performance anxiety. Nobody would know, probably. Maybe somebody would, but I'm very passionate about the writing. I get really nitpicky about words and language and making sure everything is exactly as it happened. And I just love being out in the world and hearing something or having something pop into my head that's like, oh, that's such a good line. And then building something around it and working with other writers to make something like that. I really love it. It really brings me to life.
Nice. So tell us a little bit more about what your vision might be for your music.
My vision for my music, I feel like it started out as a compulsion to write. Like, I'm not kidding. It literally, I had about 3 roommates when I started writing music, and they would just be constantly watching me like write things down because they just were flowing out of me like lava. And my decision to actually produce them and make them and let the world hear them also kind of came out of compulsion because I had a few friends who would hear the songs, and like one of my roommates was a dancer and she was like, Ash, if you make this, I would love to dance to it. Or like, Ash, if you made this one, I would really love that. I would listen to it over and over. I relate to it in this way. And I was like, maybe people would want to hear these. I don't know. Let's find out. And that's how it started. And that's how it's still going. And as long as there's people when I play shows that come up to me and say, wow, that really resonated with me, I'll probably keep making it. As long as they're still coming out.
Nice. So what would you say the secret is of your music or your writing?
The secret sauce.
Yes. What's the secret sauce?
Yeah. Do you mean, I would say, honestly, the lyrics and the writing, and because I don't think the melodies are particularly original. Or like
melodies are pretty.
Like that. No, yeah. Oh, thank you so much. No, thank you. I love them too. I mean, sometimes they get stuck in my head and that's embarrassing, but the writing is like
experience. Yeah.
Yeah. You're like, la, 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 what song is that? Oh my God. I'm so glad no one was around. But where
those words come from? Oh my gosh, I gotta stop where I am right now and write them down. So you pull over on the side of the road, you look like a nutso lady, right? I gotta get this out.
Oh my God. Oh yeah. I got my voice memo thing out. I'm like, in public, but I think honestly the words, because they're what I put the most effort into, and they're the thing that I'm most proud of, and the thing that I'm like, listen, you can not like this song, but those words, those lyrics, rock solid. I don't care what you have to say. Like, I'm proud of that. I was writing before I started writing songs. Like, I've always been confident in writing in general. So I just, yeah, I would say the writing of the lyrics and the songs. And I know not everybody listens to those as intently as let's say Taylor Swift fans would.
Yeah.
That's okay. I know at least one person is. It's
Well,
me.
that's all that matters. No, good too. I listen too.
Like, I'll release I mean it when I say that every song I've ever written is, like, true and it's real,
Mhm.
and I always get really nervous about that when I release something, but turns out a lot of people are not paying attention to the lyrics, and that's great news.
Well,
Because
it
then if it's about them and it goes right over their head, then that's great.
all right. So what would you consider to be your best successes and learning moments in your career?
My best successes and learning moments. I think, um okay. First, I think my successes, and I'm experiencing this right now, is that I'm actually always getting better. Um, I thought every time I put a song out or something, I'll be like, that's the best I'm ever gonna do. I feel like that's so good. And then I make something better. And then I make something better. And in my eyes, I consider it to be better. And even the song I just put out, like, I thought that was the best I would ever do. And then a couple months ago, I wrote something that I think is better. And I'm like, that's great. And so I think as long as I continue to impress myself and see growth in the way that I'm writing and doing things, then that's perfect. That's fine. And I'm happy with that. And then, I'm sorry, what was the other one?
What were your biggest learning moments?
Oh, right. I as soon as you said that, I was like, sticking my money in places where people did not pull through, and that's a big learning moment in terms of, like, not necessarily the writing and the music, but kind of the bringing it to life and the production and label type things aside of it. In the past, like when I first started, putting my money places where shouldn't have, and those people did not pull through the way that I wanted or needed or expected them to, or the way that they said that they could. And I'm still learning things like that, and still learning, like, where I need to put my energy and where I don't. And
Oh,
yeah.
the music industry has really changed, and
Oh yeah.
and it's with the Spotify's, the streaming service, the iTunes. It's changed to the point where you almost have to be dedicated full time to be able to know how to hit that
Mhm.
how to go around, get over there. Hi.
I know. Like, example, I ended up, there was a few producers I was testing out early on, and one of them was about $700, which is still cheap, and one of them was $350, and the one who was $350 was way better than the one that was $700. And you just learn by trial and error, and yeah, it's things like that, that I'm like, all right, it doesn't necessarily, just because you are charging this doesn't mean you're worth it.
100%, 100%.
Exactly.
All
Mhm.
right. If you could give yourself some advice, would you what would you give to yourself 20 years ago, knowing what you know right now?
So I'm giving advice to my 20 years ago self, right?
That's correct. What would you say
Okay.
to yourself? I'd start out with, "Hi."
Okay, sorry.
I don't
Sorry.
know how. I
Wait,
think
I'm
we're,
doing quick math right now. Oh yeah, wait, that's actually easy math. My bad. I would have been 10 years old.
ah, you're
And 10 years old. I get really like literal about these things. So I'm like, where was I? What would I have said? I probably would have said, honestly, if I could have told 10-year-old me something, I would have said, take risks a lot more. Say yes a lot more. I was just a really scared, nervous kid and didn't put myself out there a lot and stayed pretty sheltered inside of my own self. And I would have said, say yes way more and take more risks. That's what I would have said, honestly.
That's really good advice. That's really good advice. So, and speaking of taking more risks, it looks like you were a figure skater, and so
Yeah.
you're taking lots of risks in figure skating. So, did that build your confidence up, or tell us a little bit about your figure skating?
Oh, man. Isn't that so random?
Well, it seemed like a really perfect segue right there. Sorry.
No, I mean, like, just the fact that I did that was so random in my life. But
Really?
it was, I don't know. I feel like it is. Especially, I guess, living down here in California now, it's just not as common for kids to grow up doing that kind of thing. But in Canada, it's totally normal for people to skate.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I absolutely loved it. I felt like I could fly. I still do it to this day. I take lessons and I go.
Right.
And it is just the absolute best feeling. I adore it. And I remember being it was between 10, 11, or 12. I don't remember when exactly it was. But it was getting to the point where I was dancing and I was skating, and I had to choose one because it was getting to the point where I was like competing and things, and it wasn't sustainable to do both. And my parents were like, I'm going to pick one. And I picked skating because nobody else was doing it. And I loved the idea of doing something that not everybody was doing, which is sad because I actually loved dance and I think I would have done really well, but I don't regret making the choice that I had to make. And I love skating. And did it build my confidence? Yes, but I hated competitions. I didn't love those. I didn't like being put on the spot, and I didn't like the idea that people would come watch you for one day, and if you messed up, that's just what they saw. Whereas if you were practicing, you're like, no, I can do so much.
But you would have had to take risks because, if you're doing figure skating, I'm sorry, that's all risky, right? Those jumps, I mean, you're risking falling, and
you know what you do
yourself, and you did it, right? So good for you.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. It's funny because I feel like I was incredibly okay with taking those kind of risks. I would throw myself into the air, no problem. And it's interesting how that didn't translate to my personal life.
But, maybe it just took a little bit of time to transfer to your personal life. Because look at you
You're
now,
right.
Singing, you're songwriting, you're sharing your story. Thank you, Ashley.
You're absolutely right. It did eventually get there, just not at that time.
Yeah. Well, that's part of learning and being a kid, right? Growing up.
Yeah.
I'm still learning. I don't think I really ever want to grow up. No.
You should always be learning, always growing. It's a huge red flag if you see someone who's never grown.
Exactly.
That's scary.
Yeah. So I know that you moved to California. How long ago did you move to California?
I moved here 6 years ago.
And what motivated you to move there?
I actually moved here initially to work with an anti-human trafficking organization down in Orange County. But that was work for free, aka volunteer.
Yeah.
And so eventually I just ran out of money, but I had always felt an itch to be down here, so I just never left. and I got a job and worked some jobs, did music, and I kind of just stayed.
Why not?
Just never left.
Right? Why not?
To my parents' dismay.
Well, anti-human trafficking is a huge topic nowadays, and it really does need to get stopped. But it's also difficult to volunteer your time if you don't have an income. So I hear where you're coming from.
Right? Yes, you will run out of money, turns out.
Yeah.
If you're making any, you will run out.
This is one of those laws of money. Yes, if you're not making money. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
I'm still looking to try to find like that seed to plant where I've got the money tree in front of my house, and I can just go.
Oh right, yeah.
Whatever I need. Then I can have whatever shoes I want, whatever makeup I want, travel wherever I want to go. Right.
Exactly. Yeah. I heard about them when I was little. Haven't seen one yet.
Or the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. I'm still looking for that pot of gold too.
Yeah, where's that?
The pot of gold at the end of the rainbow? Yeah, I know, right? I keep trying to follow those rainbows. I see the rainbow and I run to the rainbow.
And it's not there.
I know, right? By the time I get there, the rainbow disappears and there's no pot of gold.
All lies.
Okay. We're going to switch over into a different side of you. We want to know a little bit about Ashley Woods. We'd like to ask you some questions about your entertainment habits. And
okay.
you.
Yeah.
So, first of all, which languages do you speak?
Oh, I speak English and French, and I'm learning Portuguese.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. And where have you lived in the world outside of Canada and the States?
I lived in Belize for almost 2 years.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't glamorous
anywhere else. Glamorous?
Yes.
I love that word that you're using. I didn't wear shoes for almost 2 years, but
oh wow, that's not glamorous, but that sounds like heaven.
Oh, it was heaven. It wasn't glamorous, but it was so wonderful. No like completely different way of life. No shoes, right on the beach. Like it was good. I liked it.
Wow. Whatever made you leave?
I know, right? A call, I don't know, to move here. That's literally why I left.
Be closer to your family and your parents and stuff?
I did move back to Canada for a little bit, but it wasn't long before I ended up back here in California. I spent a little bit of time in Colorado, like half of the year after I came back, but yeah, I ended up here.
Okay. If you're going to watch a film, are you going to watch it at home or are you going to go out? What's your favorite?
If I'm by myself, I'll watch it at home.
Mm-hmm.
But with friends, I like going out.
Nice. Nice. And in terms of music, what would you say your favorite genre would be?
Oh. I think pop is my favorite genre, given what I listen to regularly. But I was telling Marco earlier, I was like, man, I like music from all genres. Like my favorite artist at the moment is a rapper. So
okay.
But in general, it's mostly pop.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you see yourself rapping anytime soon in the future?
I don't know if anyone wants to see that. You know what? The first song I ever wrote was a rap.
Really?
It's never come out, obviously.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Yeah, the first song I ever wrote was a rap.
I'm interested to hear.
We'll see. I'll test it out in private and see how it goes.
All right. In terms of media, which would you choose? Would you choose to watch TV, go to a theater, go to a concert, go to a bar, or do karaoke?
such a good question. Probably a concert.
Concert?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably a concert.
I love
Park-
concerts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Good answer. Okay, so now in terms of art,
hmm
do you like painting, photography, metal art, structural art, or do you just appreciate the art of nature?
Ooh, I used to paint a lot.
Did you really?
Yeah. I love painting.
Watercolors or oils or?
I did watercolor and I did acrylic. I didn't like oil, but I'm trying to look around my apartment and see if there's anything I've painted here, but I think most of it's at my parents' house.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I did watercolor and I did acrylic.
Nice. Nice. That's beautiful. Did you do landscapes or people or?
With the watercolor, I did a lot of flowers, and sometimes like calligraphy on top of them to do something like that. And acrylics, I kind of just did whatever I've done. I did like a big wave once. I did a lion's face. I'm thinking of the ones at my parents' house. I did like a Narnia lamp type thing. I did like a ocean, things like that. It didn't look realistic, if that makes sense. It was very like cartoony. Not really cartoon. I don't have anything.
Oh,
I didn't keep any of my own art.
well, clearly you got to get yourself busy there in the times that you have off and do some more art for us.
Probably do that.
All right. So in terms of lifestyle, so we've talked a little bit about you're a painter, you like art and stuff like that. Now we're going to switch over into like things like fashion. Do you prefer comfort or are you more trendy, more traditional?
Oh, comfort all day long. Look at this. What is she wearing?
Sweatshirt.
I love comfort. We have adopted a stage style for me. So I do have a lot of outfits like that, but they're not comfortable.
What is your stage style?
We figured out it's kind of like that 70s rocker, like Harry Styles streetwear. So it's a lot of like warm rust colors and maroons and like browns and suede, that kind of look with like funky pants like that and like vests and blouses like that.
Nice.
Very like 70s type.
I like the bell bottoms.
Yeah, it's got some bell bottoms.
And the platform shoes. Being short of the platform shoes.
I got platforms and bell bottoms.
Okay. And what would be your best beauty tips?
Oh, skincare.
Yeah.
And honestly, as sad as it is, especially for me, the more water you drink and the better food you put in your body, the better your skin is going to be.
100%.
Unfortunately, that is true.
I know, but I really like potato chips, right?
I know, right? And sunscreen every day, all the time. Like, beauty tip, sunscreen. And just keep your skin and like your body, like it'll make you feel better. You'll also look super fresh and healthy. And unfortunately, all of those things are true.
Well, you know, as Canadians, we kind of like going out in the sunshine, but not for too long. We like to come back inside again, right? And we spend most of our time living in the refrigerator, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You'll find us somewhere warm with the air conditioning turned on high in our sweatshirts, and we're quite comfortable with that.
Canadians have so much air conditioning. It's so funny.
I know, right? But the funniest thing is we'll have these air conditioning things going on, and we'll be inside and we'll be like, oh, this is nice, but I'm a little bit cold, so I'll just put on a blanket and I'll feel nice and cozy.
Exactly.
Right?
And it's like summer outside. It's like 30 degrees.
Right.
And they're like, I miss that. I miss it being hot outside and then fridge inside. That's so funny.
I know. I have my blanket too. We should have brought our blankies to the interview, Ashley.
Oh no, it's hot here. I got my windows open. It's already starting to toast up in here.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Okay, so if you're going to eat, are you going to eat at home or are you going to eat out? So you kind of alluded to the fact you need to have a bit of a healthy lifestyle for good skincare and beauty. So tell us a little bit about the food that you might choose for that.
A lot of greens and a lot of protein.
Mm-hmm.
The food here in America is a little scary. And my body noticed that as soon as I moved here. And so just trying to eat, honestly, the less ingredients that are in something you're putting in your mouth, the better I feel. And I'm not saying that because I don't eat Nerds gummy clusters. Yes, sometimes I do. Okay. I'm just saying this is how I feel better. Do I always make the good choice? No, almost never. But I prefer to eat in because it's cheaper. My friends and I, we don't really go out to eat much anymore because we're just like, we have food at home. Let's just go do something else. But yeah, I eat a lot of very simple things, a lot of eggs, a lot of
lettuce, a lot of fruits, those sorts of things,
like a rabbit. And then once a week, there's like mac and cheese. You know what I mean?
Oh, I love mac and cheese. That's my favorite.
You eat like a rabbit, and then one day you're like, I don't want to do that.
Well, you know, I was out the other day and I was doing an errand and I saw a piece of cake. I'm not going to make a full cake, but I could buy one piece of cake and I could split that one piece of cake into 2 days and I could put strawberries on it. So it's like halfway healthy, right?
It's the splitting between it's the splitting between days where you're like, if I just have one spoon of this today, but then so I have it for a week.
Yeah.
Does that did I really eat it though even?
No, not really. It doesn't count that way, right?
It was just one bite a day.
Yeah.
And I probably have more than it's the justification here. I don't think that really counts.
Yeah.
There's a trend. There's a trend going around. It's so hilarious where you have, that's a loud car. You have dinosaur time where it's these people are taking leafy greens. Usually it's just spinach and they eat it just to get their greens in. They eat it like a dinosaur. So they take each bowl and they just shove it in their mouth and they just chew and swallow. Oh my God. And they call it their dinosaur time. And that is so funny.
Because they just want to do that. Yeah, no.
That is hilarious.
But I do like changing up a salad every once in a while. What's your favorite salad to make for yourself?
I make 2 different things regularly.
Okay.
I make a kind of like a Greek salad.
Oh, I love that.
Chickpeas, tomatoes, cucumbers, red onions, feta, sometimes chicken if I have it, and then it's just olive oil, salt, and pepper, and lemon, and that's it. And it's so yummy. And then I also make this like bowl type thing where I do leafy greens, avocado, I'm forgetting all of it, Parmesan, chicken, and this sauce that I eat with it, like a sriracha mayo. Those are my favorites.
Nice. I really love salad. Now I actually really hated salad, but when I started to really get into them and make them myself, I think one of the strangest things I've put in a salad was green grapes and pistachios.
Oh yeah.
And tomatoes, and I thought that was really yummy. Yeah.
Have you had like a peach salad before?
Yes, I make an apricot. I make an apricot red onion salad.
Yeah.
And you take the red onion and you marinate it in vinegar and a little bit of brown sugar and oil.
Yeah.
And then, oh.
I had a job a couple years ago where we were cooking dinner. Like we were cooks basically. And it was like real nice, fancy meals, like all the time. And it forced me to learn how to cook and do all these different things. So I just learned all these really nice different recipes. Tons. I made tons of food over those 2 years. And now, now I'm like, wow, if I had the budget for those.
Right?
I know.
You know, a head of lettuce can last. Yeah, I hear you.
Oh my gosh. You only knew.
Well, you know, there's lots of ways to stretch a budget, and they've actually come up with the fact that the people that stretch the budget the best are usually the healthiest because they're not overeating, they're not eating rich foods.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, like my grandma, she always used to put oatmeal in everything, right? You know?
Oh yeah, yeah.
And it's a beautiful, beautiful way to add the feeling of being full. But rolled oats are incredibly good for you. They've got molybdenum and all kinds of great stuff in them. So, anyways, there's a trend for these old recipes, and the funniest thing about these old recipes is that usually it was just a housewife that was, you know, spaghetti on the stove and getting distracted by kids. So there were the casualties of regular life that turned out to be great. Sorry, I digress.
I'm listening.
Where do you like to go? Do you like nature or do you like city? You just talked about living in Belize and being able to walk and being barefoot. So, do you like barefoot or high heels and going out?
Oh, I don't like high heels. I like my platforms though. I like my platforms. My friends and I go out and we have so much fun, and I always have fun when I do that. And I do love being in the city, but nothing will compare to nature. Like truly. Mm-hmm. Like I am drawn to cities and I like living in them, but I will drive hours to get to nature. And the nature in Canada, I was just telling somebody this the other day. I said, man, growing up in Canada on the West Coast has just kind of ruined you forever for nature everywhere else. Because I went to Banff when I was 9 years old. I saw that at 9 years old with my eyes. And I've seen it since as a grown-up, but like, because I've gone back so many times. But then trying to see other nature.
The color of the water is just insane. It's so pretty.
Just like, wow. I went to, I was in Virginia, like near DC recently, and I rented a car and went up to like their national park. They have a park there. It's Great Falls, and it's beautiful. It's this giant, massive like river coming down through, and it's so beautiful. And it was incredible. I stood there and I was like, God, why did I have to be raised in Canada? I could appreciate this so much more. Because all I'm thinking about is like Joffrey Lakes, and I'm like, like Garibaldi, and I'm like, that was just down the road from my house. Oh, it's so beautiful. But yes, I love nature. I think growing up in Vancouver is the reason for that, but I love nature.
And the seashores.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The ocean.
Collecting seashells as a kid, barefoot in the sand.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then having the tiny little white crabs grab onto the bottoms of your feet.
Yeah.
That happened to me more than once, and I would freak out.
That was so much fun. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
You know, jumping into that ice cold water and going for a swim.
Oh, yeah. I don't even remember swimming in that water, but the lakes. I loved going. We went to Cultus Lake a lot growing up.
Cultus Lake is really pretty.
Mm-hmm.
It's become quite busy though these days. Very, very.
Unfortunately. Because there's 8 billion people on this planet. Of course, it's busy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I miss the olden days where you could like have a boat and go out in Cultus Lake and see nobody, right?
It's okay.
Yeah.
I say that exasperatedly. It's okay.
There you go. But Duncan might be pretty nice too on the island. That's still
Oh, it
untouched.
is. I don't want anyone going there. It's so empty.
Okay, so tourists don't go to Duncan on Vancouver Island.
It's so ugly. So ugly. It's crowded. Don't go there.
Well, all right.
So ugly.
So if you're going to go on vacation or you're going to take a break, where would you go? Locally, regionally, or internationally?
Wherever I have the budget for.
Oh yeah.
I'll go as far as my money will allow me to go.
Yeah, fair.
And next on my list, I really want to go to Asia. Specifically, I want to go to Japan desperately. And oh my God, there's so many places I want to go. I just went in December. My family and I, we did a massive trip around Europe at Christmas, and that was sickeningly beautiful and wonderful.
Nice.
And I love Europe. I want to go to either Tanzania or Kenya or both, and I want to go to Japan.
I'd love to go to Kenya too. All the animals. I want to see the animal. I want to go on a safari.
Yeah, my parents met in Kenya, and I've
did they?
Yeah.
Nice.
On the plane ride over, but I was gonna say Kenya. Yeah, that's where I would go. I wish I could go all the time, but it's so expensive.
So, what would you say your favorite vacation place has been to date so far?
You know what? I was deciding if this was... My mom and dad took us on so many vacations and all of them were wonderful, and I have good memories. That being said, my favorite one is the one I took by myself.
No, there you go. It's probably the hardest decision was to go on vacation by yourself, right?
Oh, I loved it. I went on a cruise by myself. That is the most relaxed I've ever been.
Right?
That was the trip that made me feel like, oh, I've never been on vacation before.
No, it's so luxurious to be on vacation by yourself. It's not lonely. It's like, no, honey, I'm not alone. I'm just enjoying
it's like
space.
I feel like the point of vacation specifically, and I'm going to separate vacation and travel because those are two different things in my head. And I think the point of it is to like relax and shut off and reset. And I don't think I've ever been able to do that with other people around.
You can't ever really 100% relax or shut off when there's the people around. It's just not a possibility. No.
And like the idea of it being like a cruise, I didn't have to think about anything. Everything was just happening around me and I could just show up. That most relaxed, that is the best vacation I've ever been on. Truly.
Nice. All right. Now the big question. Where can we find you, Ashley?
My address is... I'm just kidding. Oh, it follows me. The camera follows. Yeah. Don't come to my house. Find me on... oh my goodness. Well, my website is ashleywoods.co. Unfortunately, it's not .com because someone bought that domain to link to their LinkedIn profile. So You can go harass. No, don't harass. AshleyWoods.co. That should take you almost everywhere you need to go. I think the only one not linked is my TikTok. You can find me on Spotify under Ashley Woods, Apple Music, anywhere you listen to music. Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. On Instagram and TikTok, it's Ashley Woods, 2 Y's, 3 O's. Again, I'm plagued with the reality that Ashley Woods is an incredibly common name. Thank you, Mom and Dad. And I think that's all of them. Oh, on YouTube, Ashley Woods. Same as Instagram and TikTok. All linked from my website, ashleywoods.co.
Yay. Okay. And we can also find you up on bigrecords.world.
Yes.
Right? As an artist. And are you going to be doing any shows anytime soon? Or?
Yes, I have 2 spots in Vancouver. One on July 12th at the Blueberry Festival, and then one on July, did I say June or July? July 12th. And then July 16th in Kitsilano at what are they called? Secret Sessions, Vancouver. And the tickets for that, the Secret Sessions, you can find on my website.
Nice. Nice. And of course, the Blueberry Festival, you can just come on down. It's
show up.
Is there a show cost for the Blueberry Festival, or can you just show up? There's no cost.
There's no cost. I knew that. It's free.
Yeah, come on down.
I totally knew that right before this moment. I didn't. I had no clue. Yes, it's free. Come on down.
Friends. Come on down.
I'll be singing a lot of covers because I like to entertain people, and most people don't know my songs. There'll be a few, but it'll be covers, and you'll have a good time.
Well, we want to hear your originals too.
Oh yeah, don't worry, those will be in there.
Absolutely.
But we want to keep the vibes up, the mood up. So we're not going to do all the sad ones, all at once. Not one right after the other. We're going to split them out.
A little bit of happiness, a little bit of sadness, a little bit of happiness, a little bit of sadness.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
And you know what? I feel bad for singing those real sad songs on stage, but you know what? Nobody's listening to the words. They're listening to the vibes. And most people, not all people, but most people. And I figured that out very quickly. And so now I'm just going to start singing them and see if anyone can tell.
Well, I didn't really get that it was really sad with Closure. It was really a nice vibe. It was very peaceful, very relaxed. So I really enjoyed that song. It was really good. So I want to hear more of that at the Blueberry Festival.
That's good, because I can't play it without crying. So I love that you didn't get that.
No. Yeah.
But you know what? That one, you're completely right, because that one's very personal, and that's why it makes me sad for very personal reasons. But I don't think anybody else would cry because of those reasons.
Well, sometimes songwriting can be a bit of a therapy, so to speak. So you can work through that personal pain, get comfortable with it, own your past. Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Well, I really want to thank you for spending some time with us today, Ashley.
Thank you for having me.
It's been really nice to get to know you a little bit more, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you up here in Canada at the Blueberry Festival. So this is Ashley Woods, and if you check her out on Instagram and socials, it's going to be with 3 Y's and 2 O's. Or is it 2 Y's and 3 O's?
2 Y's and 3 O's.
2 Y's and 3 O's. Okay. I'm corrected. And if you've got any confusion about that, just check out her website and you'll find her there at www.ashleywoods.co. Okay. Or bigrecords.world. That's where all of the artists that are signed on to the label, you can find them there. So thank you for spending some time with us this morning here, afternoon in Italy, and I'm sure it's evening somewhere else. So wherever you are. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. And then our tagline for the show is what I started out with. It's I see, you see, we see, grazie.
Can you do it one more time?
Sure. Do you want to try it with me, Ashley?
Gotta study. Yeah, let's do it together.
Okay. I'll try it, then we'll do it together, okay?
Ready?
Okay, ready. So it's I see,
I see,
you see,
you see,
we see,
we see, grazie.
grazie. Yes.
Grazie. My bad. Didn't say it right.
And I was hoping you'd catch the oui see, because that's French, you see. I see, you see, we see, grazie.
Grazie.
So yeah, so the oui see is oui is yes in French, and see yes in Spanish. So we're trying to
yes.
Exactly. I see, you see, we see, grazie. Want to try it on 3 together?
Yes. Ready?
Okay.
I got this.
Ready? Okay. 1, 2, 3. I
see,
you
you see,
we
see,
grazie.
grazie.
Thank you so much, Ashley Woods, for spending some time with us on ICFB Star Entertainment. We've really enjoyed having you on our show, and we look forward to hearing more about your new songs as they come across. Thank you so much.
so much.